Hey y'all, hey, it's me, V the CP Scholar, fresh out from watching Sinners. Yes, we went up on a Tuesday. And I'm gonna do just like I did with The Color Purple, the fresh out the theater review. It earned its 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. A time was had. I went to the movie theater with my daughter. I have to remember that she's old enough to see these type of movies, but she begged me to go, and I'm into these type of movies too. I am a black horror fan in general, and this movie had everything. It had everything. Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan. Heck, everybody, the old girl from Lovecraft Country, they did a thing. The acting from everybody was superb. I loved it. So there was so much symbolism, so many different things in this movie that if you were going in there thinking it's gonna be like action packed like Bad Boys 4 or whatever, it's not that, but the pacing was so good. It was 2 hours and 19 minutes, I believe, and we felt like we were in there 30 minutes because everything was going so fast. But they did amazing storytelling. They built up the plot. They made you basically care about each character, and they melded it all together perfectly to create an amazing story. I love the animation in the beginning because it's kind of laid out like a Anansi's Tales when it talks about how important the storytellers are in basically folk tradition, and especially how important it is that the music is for cultures in general. I was gonna say African culture, but cultures in general. I love how they started off the story with the preacher kid busting into his father's church looking like he's been rolled hard and put up wet, tore up, scratched up with a partial guitar. And you're like, where am I going with this story? And it basically goes to a flashback. It was very weird to see Michael B. Jordan, because my daughter kept saying Michael Jordan. I was like, that's an old ass man, because she kept saying Michael B. Jordan was her man. She go up for him. I go up for him since The Wire too. But either way, playing twins, and I think he did a great job with different movements, different nuances to make you feel like it was two different characters. I liked how there was duality there. You had the one twin that was more, they were both rough. I don't want to spoil the movie too much, but basically they are coming back from Chicago with a lot of money and they want to come back to Mississippi because they said Chicago is just as bad as Mississippi. They'd rather come back to the devil they know, play on words. And they buy a building and they basically want to have a juke joint in their old hometown. They do an amazing job of building up, what their reputation is, how they're known, how they're able to basically gather all the goods and everything that they need to make this event happen. There's love interest in there that are awesome. Like I said, there's a duality. You have the one brother who has, they both kind of had main girls, but the one brother who was more of a family man, his old lady was, I think she might have been Geechee. No, she was from Louisiana. So she's a root woman. And they had children together, all those type of things, but watch the movie to see what happened. So he's more of the homebody type. They both out in these streets and they both feed off of each other to do messed up things, but they've been all around the world. They're soldiers. They've been to different countries, done different things. So, but they also have a bad reputation. But the guy who busts in the church is their little cousin who they left a guitar with. And it turns out that he is an amazing blues singer. So he's going to sing at the juke joint. But how Ryan Coogler basically combined, I don't want to say a slave story because they're not really slaves because it's after slavery. But a story about sharecroppers, a vampire story, and a 90s video all into one movie, and it still worked. It worked, y'all. So I know how people are, like, it's art. So some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it. But for me, there was scenes in that movie, like the transition scene when the young blues player, aka Sammy, is playing his music and they're showing the transition of tribal music all the way through time. My creative juices were just in the sparks in my brain were just going. And then there was so much symbolism about spirituality and religion and how people approach it different ways. Of course, you have the big bad, the evil of the story. And one of the things I got out of it was, just because somebody's speaking your language, speaking in scripture, doesn't mean they're your friends. So I really enjoyed this movie. And please, Ryan Coogler, pull the Marvel. When you think the movie is over, it's not. So without spoiling it, it's definitely a movie you should go check out. And people always wonder, there was a bunch of white people there, unmelanated people there. It was a very mixed crowd. We laughed at certain parts. There was jump scares. Everybody did an amazing job. I'm gonna go look up some of these actors and actresses. I guess they're both gonna be actors. But the lady who plays the wife of the shop owner, I'm still mad at you. The lady who has a husband, and she has something interesting going on with the preacher kid. Yes. And there is raunchiness in there, y'all. They're getting it in, but it's not, it fits the story. It's not they just getting it in for no reason. And Delroy Lindo, I love you. I really enjoyed the music. I liked how they used the use of sound to help push the story along. You didn't always have to see everything. They just did. And the funny part is, I cannot stand zombie movies. I can't stand it. But this is definitely with a twist. Go check it out. I really enjoy Sinners. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars, but I'm not. When we were buying the snacks at the concession stand, the little boy behind the counter said that people were actually coming back to see it again to get even more out of the story. So, like I said, allegory, symbolism, go crazy. But one of my favorite parts that I can say is, baby, the Native Americans came. They knew what was going on. And they got the F out of Dodge. They were out of there. But my son said they have memes about that. But yeah, the movie was good. I enjoyed it. And it had all types of people in there. So check it out for yourself. 4 out of 5 Smarties. Love it. Go check it out. Bye, y'all.